It's time for Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero. When it comes to news on 95.1 FM, weather always comes first. Dangerous heat wave impacts much of the west, while oppressive heat and humidity also swelter areas from the southern plains into the mid-Atlantic. Flash flooding and severe thunderstorms are possible over the next few days across portions of the plains, Midwest, and Ohio Valley. Closer to home, rain chances begin to slowly decrease over the next few days. Slightly drier air is going to be moving in from the northwest. By the weekend, temperatures are going to be warm, running a few degrees above seasonal average, with daily isolated scattered showers and storms every day. We'll have another look at the weather following this news. The latest on the fires. South Fork sitting at 17.5, Salt Fire at 8,000 acres. South Fork fires at 87% containment, Salt fires at 84%. The Bureau of Indian Affairs has announced the cause of the South Fork fire. Lightning.
It's the truth. He didn't lie.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and call bullspit on this. The cause of the nearby Salt fire remains under investigation. The FBI is offering a $10,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of a person or persons responsible for starting the Salt fire. Even after storms brought significant flooding to Ruidoso and prompted over 160 water rescues, some businesses are still open even as they contend with the weather. Village officials are asking tourists and second home owners to stay away for the time being, but in the same vein, some businesses are trying to get back to some level of normalcy. Officials are also taking steps to prepare themselves for more rain. Some wildfire crews are helping fill and distribute sandbags to help mitigate flood damage to property, and swift water rescue teams have been staged in areas of concern. The Federal Emergency Management Agency is in the area. According to Roberto Baltodano, the External Affairs Officer for the agency, FEMA is working in conjunction with local authorities to help victims stricken by the fires and now flooding.
We have the Disaster Recovery Center, which is located again at 237 Service Road in Ruidoso, behind the district court, where we can see, we can speak individually to each survivor, identify their needs, and thereby then put together a plan for the recovery by providing them financial funds.
While speaking with KRWG, Baltodano said it's important for disaster victims to reach out to FEMA as soon as possible.
We encourage those who were affected to apply today. Even if you don't have the documentation that we asked ready, or even if you're not sure what losses you had, what's important is that you reach out and you register with FEMA today.
Disasterassistance.gov, or you can call 800-621-3364. The Lincoln National Forest has lifted all fire restrictions and reduced the fire danger rating to moderate, meaning you can now have campfires. The Lincoln National Forest spokeswoman, Amanda Fry, spoke with KRQE.
Make good choices and be safe out there. Make sure that fire is dead out before you leave. To ensure that, your safety, the safety of the forest and all of that. It is, conditions are improving, but fire safety is still very, very important to observe and practice.
Fry indicated that emergency area closures on the Smoky Bear Ranger District do remain in effect and will stay in place through at least August 23rd. She also reiterated that fireworks are not permitted on federal lands. We discussed how the artwork from St. Joseph's Apache Mission was stolen.
Not stolen, just removed by Father Chudy and the Knights of Columbus and Oscar Padilla, our chief property risk manager.
Good news, as the art was returned to the tribe. I verified by calling the church.
We were told by a phone call that it would be, but I don't think we've actually seen it yet. Unless they took it over to the tribal offices, it hasn't been returned here to the church as far as I know.
I think those who took the pieces should review the 10 Commandments. Oh, I was also told something else too.
He says everything belongs to the diocese. The church doesn't belong to the people. Everything belongs to the diocese.
Well, this old backslidden back-pew Baptist is going to present to you Ephesians 1:22, and hath put all things under his feet, and gave him to be the head over all things to the church.
Yes, hello. This is Pastor Jerry, and I would like to talk and say thanks and kudos to you and all of the people there at the radio station for reporting on the artworks that were stolen from the Apache people. The church may be operated by the Catholic diocese, but it has always been the church of the Apache people, who have always been supportive of the Catholic diocese, and for the current priest that is supposed to represent the Apache people to do this travesty and humiliation to the Apache community shouldn't be tolerated by the Apache people, as they are also a sovereign nation and have done nothing wrong except to be loyal to their religion and their faith. This is an example of those who believe that they have the right and the power to do away with customs and cultures of indigenous people.
You can hear Jerry Martinez's full commentary on our YouTube channel. Today's Thursday. Let's go now to my good friend, Pastor Lauren Noble, and get a Thursday thought.
Good morning, 95.1 listeners. This is Pastor Lauren with our Thursday thought. Hey, happy 4th of July to you. I know with the recent fires in Mescalero and Ruidoso, followed by a flash flood in the Ruidoso area, it is difficult for some people to be happy because they lost everything they had, and others are going to have much to rebuild from damage. However, I believe that there's still a lot to be thankful for. While I do wonder the direction of our country and sometimes feel that with the presidential candidates we have, the rest of the world must look at our government like we are a cluster of clowns, and sometimes I may be in agreement with that. But be that as it may, I still believe that America is better than many other countries in the world, so I will be content with that, and the fact that we have freedoms that many other countries do not have. So fireworks displays or not, have a happy 4th of July, and reflect on what we have to be grateful for. Let me say a prayer for us. Lord, I do thank you for the independence that America has, and sometimes it's easy to get discouraged, and sometimes I look down on our government, and sometimes with humor, and sometimes it's just because. But help us to be thankful for what we have compared to other countries in the world, because America is still way greater than a lot of them. And we have a lot more freedoms than a lot of countries do, and we should be thankful for that. And just help those up there in Ruidoso and the Mescalero area that lost things, that went through the fire or the flood, and be with them and bless them in the coming days as they rebuild. And thank you for the freedom we have, but thank you for your activity in our life each and every day. Amen. Until we meet up again on the airwaves, blessings to you.
Lauren Noble's Thursday Thought was sponsored by Second Life Media.
News from around the state in just a moment. This is Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
Local news from local perspectives, from local voices. AlamogordoTownNews.org. Local sports, local events, and local happenings and more. Nonprofit owned and operated by Second Life Media. We are Otero County. AlamogordoTownNews.org. Heard daily on Crazy KALH Radio 95.1.
Directory Plus is the right size book. It's the book if you need a phone book.
That's what just one person has to say about Directory Plus. With its red cover, features, colorful yellow pages, and lots more, it's no wonder people all over use Directory Plus.
It has so much more information. You can cross-check phone numbers or addresses or pretty much anything.
Look on the plus side, Directory Plus.
I'm a big fan of Directory Plus.
Isaiah Garcia was sentenced to serve a life sentence plus 13 years for the 2019 murder of 21-year-old KALH Campos. He'd already begun serving a life sentence for the 2019 murder of Sandia High School student Sean Markley. Campos was with her boyfriend at a park when they saw Garcia rob 3 teenagers with a firearm. They tried to leave, however, Garcia chased and shot, fatally shooting Campos. Carl Campos, that's KALH's father, spoke at the sentencing.
There's nothing that could have happened today that's going to bring KALH back, and that's the killer. That's the real killer. That's the dagger in the heart. Having a tight-knit family is really the only thing that kept us going through this all. You know, my wife and I, Gayla, we've been married for 31 years, and typically when something like this happens, you get a rift or a separation, but it's only brought us together as a stronger couple, and we wouldn't be here without the support of our family.
Since Garcia will serve 2 consecutive life sentences, that means he must serve the sentence for the murder of Markley before he begins to serve the one for Campos. A teenager will not face charges after being involved in a fatal pedestrian crash in Hobbs. The Hobbs Police Department began the investigation into the fatal crash on Sunday, May 12th. The crash resulted in the death of 43-year-old Leroy Gonzalez. Gonzalez was looking for his drone when witnesses say that he was run over by the teenager.
I hear tires squealing, like somebody peeling out. And then I just hear chaos. Everybody starts yelling. I could hear people banging on the truck saying, stop, stop. And I'm like, something happened. And I knew it in my heart that something had happened to him.
That's Casey Gonzalez, the victim's wife, speaking with KOAT.
I honestly don't know what's going on as far as with the investigation. I know he was drug about half a block. The kid didn't try to stop until the people started, the kids in the area actually made him stop.
The police department said they have exhausted their leads into this crash. The teenage driver has been issued 2 traffic citations, one for careless driving and another for operators must be licensed.
I'm angry because they know who it was. They know who was driving.
Nobody is in custody and no further criminal charges will be taken and no other details are being released, such as name, age, or how this teenager is related to someone of influence. The New Mexico Department of Justice officials say they sent a cease and desist notice to hotels accused of price gouging in the wake of the Ruidoso fires. The NMDOJ advised people to submit complaints regarding possible price gouging, and after receiving almost a dozen complaints, they have sent notices to the La Quinta Inn in Artesia and several Roswell hotels, including the Baymont by Wyndham, the Clarion, Days Inn, Holiday Inn, and Homes to Suite by Hilton. If you need to report some price gouging, nmdoj.gov/gethelp or call 505-490-4060. Roberto Vasquez, who owns the Albuquerque business Roberto's Le Salon,
Alberto,
says he and his neighbors have been terrorized by so much crime his insurance will no longer cover his business. In the past month, the Albuquerque crime map shows an armed robbery, 2 theft incidents, vandalism, and a shot-fired report within a 2-block radius of that store. His security video caught a man walking around the business next to his, where the man appears to be breaking in and entering. That's when he decided to call the police. Vasquez spoke with KOAT.
Just a couple of nights ago, I see somebody breaking in, so I called 242 cops and waited for 2 hours before they answered the phone. You see the guys breaking in and taking wire and pulling things and stealing stuff and climbing the tree, but no police.
Around his business, you can see bullet holes, hanging wires, and more that show what each incident has left on his business. He says he's taken all advice from police to try to prevent crime, such as trimming his trees, wrought iron, and even posting no trespassing signs. Oh, and they also suggested this.
And they say, well, you need to raise your wall higher.
Imagine that, building a wall that's high enough to keep people out. What a novel concept. His calls for help are even costing him money now.
I'm at the highest level you can be for a crime area, and I'm getting punished by the police officers with their $500 fine, $1,000 fine, or whatever, because, the officer shook the door. He says, it doesn't look like there was a break-in. Who came up with that rule?
Vasquez went on to say his insurance will not cover him anymore unless he pays a higher premium. Weather's next. This is Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
This is Lieutenant William Skaggs with Alamogordo Fire Department. The 4th of July is almost here. The city of Alamogordo will not be having a fireworks display this year. Do you know what fireworks are allowed within the city limits of Alamogordo? The ordinance is pretty clear. Anything louder than a cap gun or higher than 10 feet is not allowed within the city limits. Our inspection division makes sure that all vendors selling fireworks within the city limits of Alamogordo only sell fireworks that are allowable by city ordinance. If you purchase fireworks outside of the city limits of Alamogordo, make sure that they comply with our ordinances. If you choose to shoot off fireworks, please make sure you do them in an area that's free of combustibles and in a safe manner. Alamogordo Fire Department wishes everybody a happy and safe 4th of July.
Your Crazy Radio spot-on weather forecast for the Tularosa Basin today calls for partly sunny skies. There's a 20% chance of showers and storms, winds gusting as high as 14 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies tonight with a 20% chance of showers and storms. Mostly sunny tomorrow with a 60% chance of showers and storms, winds gusting as high as 15. Your high today in the basin, 98. Low tonight of 70. High tomorrow, 94 degrees. In Cloudcroft, partly sunny skies with a 30% chance of showers and storms, winds gusting as high as 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tonight with a 20% chance of showers and storms, winds gusting as high as 17. Mostly sunny tomorrow. There's a 70% chance of showers and storms, winds gusting as high as 15 miles per hour. Your high today in Cloudcroft, 77. Low tonight of 52. High tomorrow of 70 degrees. Local breaking news can be found on our website, alamogordotownnews.org, and learn more about Crazy Radio by visiting kalhradio.org. Also, check out the Crazy KALH Radio YouTube channel. That's where we post our daily newscasts, complete interviews, and other information which concerns everyone in the Tularosa Basin. Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel if you've not done so already. That way you too can remain informed of the goings-on in the Tularosa Basin. That concludes today's edition of Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero. Have a safe and happy Independence Day.